Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to solve this interesting exponential equation, and we have 8 raised to the power of x plus 27 raised to the power of x divided by 12 raised to the power of x plus 18 raised to the power of x equals to 7 divided by 6. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get started. So one key fact to note when solving an exponential equation is that the base should be reduced to its lowest quantity. Okay, so let's start with this 8 raised to the power of x. Okay, so we can reduce it to 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. So this raised to the power of x. Okay, so this can be expressed in this form, right? Plus this 27 raised to the power of x here can be expressed in 3 raised to the power of 3 or raised to the power of what? X. Okay, we have divided by, so 12 raised to the power of x can be expressed as 3 times 2 raised to the power of 2 or raised to the power of x. Okay, you know 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 raised to the power of x, this corresponds to this. Okay, so at this stage nothing has really changed. All right, so let's go ahead. Plus 18 raised to the power of x can be written as 2 times 3 raised to the power of 2 or raised to the power of x. Okay, and this is equals to 7 divided by 6. Okay, but if you consider this identity, a raised to the power of m raised to the power of n, okay, this is equals to a raised to the power of m times n. Okay, and you can also interchange it and write it this way: a raised to the power of n raised to the power of m is also equals to a raised to the power of nm. Okay, and this is equals to, so therefore a raised to the power of m times n equals to a raised to the power of n times m. Okay, this is what we are going to apply here. All right, if you compare these two identities, so these can be written as 2 raised to the power of x or raised to the power of 3. Okay, so this can be written in this form, plus we can also write this in this form, right? So these will be 3 raised to the power of x or raised to the power of 3. Okay, now if you consider this identity also, a times b raised to the power of n, which is equals to a raised to the power of n times b raised to the power of n. If you consider this identity, this is what we are going to apply in this denominator. Okay, so let's apply this to this denominator. Right, so this will be divided by 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of 2 times x. Okay, plus 2 raised to the power of x times 3 raised to the power of 2 times x. Okay, applying this principle, right? And this is equals to 7 over 6. Okay, consider this identity to simplify this numerator. Okay, if you notice very well, your a is now equals to 2 raised to the power of x. Okay, and b is equals to 3 raised to the power of x. Okay, so we are going to replace the values of a and b in this identity, and that will help us to simplify this numerator. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have a, we're gonna write 2 raised to the power of x plus b, we're gonna write 3 raised to the power of x, okay? And a squared, we're gonna write 2 raised to the power of x all squared, okay? Minus a times b, so let's open bracket, and we have 2 raised to the power of x times, okay, b 3 raised to the power of x, okay, plus b squared, okay? You're gonna have 3 raised to the power of x all squared, okay? And let's close the bracket, okay? So we have divided by. Now, if you look at this denominator very well, we have here 3 raised to the power of x, okay? And the coefficient of this index here is 1. And here we have 3 raised to the power of 2x. And the coefficient of this index is 2. So we have 2 raised to the power of 2x. And the coefficient of this index here is 2. And we have 2 raised to the power of x. And the coefficient of this index is 1. So we can factorize this out by writing it this way, okay? 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x, open bracket, times 2 raised to the power of x plus 3 raised to the power of x, okay? So nothing has changed. And this is equals to 7/6, okay? So I have just copied this out down here. So if you notice, I have multiplied x times 2, we have 2x. And here, I just remove it from this bracket, 2 raised to the power of x times 3 raised to the power of x. And plus x times 2, we have 3 raised to the power of 2x, okay? And I copied this down here, okay? So the next thing is, if you notice, this will surely cancel this, all right? So we are left with this and this. So let's continue on this part of the board, and I will just copy this, 2 raised to the power of 2x minus 2 raised to the power of x times 3 raised to the power of x plus 3 raised to the power of 2x, okay? Divided by 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x, okay? And this is equals to 7/6, okay? So let's rewrite this as single terms. So you're gonna have 2 raised to the power of 2x divided by 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x, okay? We have minus 2 raised to the power of x times 3 raised to the power of x divided by 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x, okay? We have plus 3 raised to the power of 2x divided by 3 raised to the power of x times 2 raised to the power of x equals to 7/6, okay? So this is pretty much the same as this, right? So if you notice very well, here we have 2 raised to the power 2x, and here we have 2 raised to the power of x, okay? So one of these will cancel one of these, okay? So we're gonna have 2 raised to the power of x left here. So you're gonna have 2 raised to the power of x divided by 3 raised to the power of x minus 3 raised to the power of x will cancel 3 over x, and 2 raised to the power of x will cancel 2 raised to the power of x, okay? So you're gonna have 1 plus, here we have 3 raised to the power of 2x, and here we have 3 raised to the power of x, okay? So this one will cancel one of these, and you're gonna have 3 raised to the power of x here, okay? So this will be 3 raised to the power of x divided by 2 raised to the power of x equals to 7/6, okay? So we can rewrite this as 2/3 all raised to the power of x, okay, minus 1 plus 3/2 all raised to the power of x equals to 7/6, okay? So at this point, we can say let p equals to 2/3 all raised to the power of x, okay? So let's continue on this part of the board. So we're gonna have p, instead of 2/3 raised to the power of x, we're gonna have p minus 1 plus, here we have 3 over 2. That is the inverse of 2 over 3. So it's going to be 1 over p, all right? Because p is 2 over 3. So 3 over 2 will be 1 over p, right? Which is equals to 7 over 6, okay? So you have this equation, p minus 1 plus 1 over p equals to 7 over 6. And we have to find the LCM, and the LCM is 6p. So the 6p will multiply this p. So you're going to have 6p squared, and the 6p will multiply this negative 1. You're going to have negative 6p plus, and the 6p will multiply this 1. So you're going to have 6, because the p will cancel this p, right? So it equals 2. And the 6p will multiply this 7 over 6, and you're going to have 7p, okay? Because the 6 will cancel these 6, all right? So let's rearrange the equation. So you have 6p squared minus 6p plus 6 minus 7p equals to 0, okay? And here you have 6p squared. Negative 6p minus 7p is negative 13p, okay? Plus 6 equals to 0, okay? And this becomes a quadratic equation, and we are going to solve using the quadratic formula. So we have p equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, okay? And if you observe this equation, you know your a equals to 6, your b equals to negative 13. This is the negative 13. And your c equals to 6 as well, okay? So let's continue on this part of the board. So we have p equals to, we have to insert this, plug in these values, okay? So you have negative, and b is negative 13, so we have negative 13 as well, plus or minus root of, we have negative 13 squared minus, okay? Let me open a bracket, 4 times, and a is 6 times c is also 6 as well. This is divided by 2 times a, and a is 6, okay? So you have p equals to, this negative here will multiply this negative 13, and you're going to have positive 13 plus or minus. So you have root of, okay, negative 13 squared is 169, okay? So you have your negative sign here, and 4 times 6 times 6, okay? So you have 144, okay? And this is divided by 2 times 6, you have your 12, okay? So p equals to 13 plus or minus, you have square root of 169 minus 144 is 25, okay? You have divided by 12, all right? So you have p equals to 13 plus or minus, and square root of 25 is 5, okay? Divided by 12, all right? So you have p equals to 13 plus 5, we take the positive sign first. So you've got 13 plus 5 divided by 12. And p can also be, when you consider this negative sign, 13 minus 5 over 12, okay? So let's solve for the first one. P equals to 13 plus 5 is 18 over 12. And 13 minus 5 is 8. So you have 8 over 12. So we can simplify this further. We have p equals to 18 over 12. 6 goes here, 3, and 6 divides this, 2. So you have 3 over 2. And here, 4 can go here 2 times, and 4 divides here. You have 3 times, so you have 2 over 3 as well. So the value of p is 3 over 2 and 2 over 3, okay? So let's continue on this part of the board and recall that we set p to be 2 over 3 all raised to the power of x. Okay, so this is our p. So if we consider this first value of p, so you're gonna have 3 over 2 equals to 2 over 3 raised to the power of x. Okay, so if you notice, this is just the inverse of 2 over 3. So if you have 1 all over 3 over 2, this is equivalent to 2 over 3 all raised to the power of x. Okay, so let's continue on this part of the board. So this can be written as 2 over 3 all raised to the power of negative 1. Okay, and this equals to 2 over 3 all raised to the power of x. Okay, so this and this are equal, so they can cancel, and your x equals to negative 1. Okay, so this is the first value of your x. All right, so now let's find the value of x for this particular solution. All right, so we're going to equate 2 over 3 equals to 2 over 3 raised to the power of x. All right, so this is the same as saying 2 over 3 raised to the power of 1. All right, because 2 over 3 raised to the power of 1 equals to 2 over 3. So this can cancel this, and your x equals to positive 1. All right, so the two values of x are negative 1 and positive 1. All right, so we have come to the end of the class, and I believe you enjoyed the class. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification icon for updating my videos. Thank you and goodbye.